I am him.
Cut it out! It ain't funny!
Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel.
We do have a video of him with his nips out.
Yeah, my picks have been shit this year.
He's taking it off.
Hello, everybody, and welcome in to this week's edition of From the 50. We are live from the 50 studios in St. Louis, Missouri. I got Big Web, Zach Zook here in the studio, and our fearless leader, TJ Weber, is on the road. He is trying to watch an ass whooping in person today. He's going to root on his Lions up in Chicago. He's going to be at Soldier Field taking in the divisional matchup between the Lions and the Bears. How are you doing, Big Web?
I'm well, buddy. I'm well. There is a vibe up there in Chicago. You can feel it. You can feel it right now. We were talking to TJ a little pre-show just a little while ago, and there is a vibe going on in Chi-Town today. A little chilly up there, but we'll get into that in a second. But Mr. Zook, man of many miles lately.
Yeah. I've been rocking and rolling, brother. We've covered a lot of ground.
Ohio
in the last
State.
month.
You saw Michigan, Ohio State.
I saw Michigan, Ohio State. Well, so first though, went up to visit my family, which is from Central Illinois. Then hoofed it after Thanksgiving on Black Friday up to AA, and then tailgated all morning. Watched Michigan beat the shit out of, well, they didn't beat the shit out of them, but they beat Ohio State for the third year in a row.
Key win.
Key win. Yep. Undefeated.
Yep.
They are, I forget the exact number, but like obviously undefeated regular season the last 2 years. Then was just kind of at home on like Sunday or Monday dicking around, and I thought, well, the Big Ten championship is in Indianapolis. I was like, well, I bet the tickets are outrageous. So I hopped on and I looked. I'm like, holy cow! You can sit in the lower bowl. It's not that expensive. Did a quick Google. I said, how far is the drive from here to there? Mm-hmm. Hotels weren't outrageous, so I asked my wife. I said, hey, you want to go to Indianapolis? And then we went and saw Michigan.
I hear they got
in
some
the Big Ten
good Christmas
championships.
shopping up there, honey. Let's go.
Yeah, no doubt. So yeah, dude, we had a bunch of fun. It's been an awesome year
And
for
no
for
Harbaugh drama going on during that at all.
Nope, not anymore.
Anyway, we jumped into a little college there, but anyway.
Yeah, a little
cool.
college. You get a little college football on the From the 50 live show. But how's everybody doing? We're going to take a look at fantasy. We're going to get to our picks later on in the show. Nick Yale is, I think, on the way to Arlington. Is that what he said?
He's heading to the stadium. He's down there going to watch the Dallas game today.
He's going to watch the Dallas game today.
That's another huge game, Dallas.
A massive game. I believe we're picking it.
We are.
So we'll get to those later on in the show. Here to answer your fantasy questions. Captain Fat, I would love to accept your call-in, although I don't know if I have the technological ability to. TJ tries to dumb it down for my dumb ass, so I don't know if I'll be able to. If you want to try, go for it, my brother. But I'm not sure if I'll be able to actually add you.
But at least put in what you're having for breakfast, Fat. I want to know.
Yeah, Big Web wants to know, and if you
usual.
can't call in, send us a chat with with your picks, and we'll read them off, man. But let's get to some fancy questions right off the rip, Big Web.
Yep.
We've got Nico Collins or Rashee Rice. I'm gonna go Rashee Rice on that. Mm-hmm. Do you agree?
No, I mean I like what Houston's doing with Collins, but no, Rice is becoming a key receiver for Mahomes.
So I guess actually maybe let me rethink that, because I sort of forgot about the Tank Dell injury last week, which if you didn't see it, it was pretty brutal. He's done for the year.
Wrong place at the wrong time.
Injuries have been, man, just feels like really bad for quarterbacks in particular, but offensive skill guys just overall.
Yeah, what are you doing in there? Get out of there. Get out of the middle.
I mean, it's like the year of the Tib Fib too. Which is always gives me goosebumps. I hate watching it. So, but I say all that to bring it back to Nico Collins, probably a little bit more consistent floor without Tank Dell, because with as potent as the Texans' passing offense has been, it's sort of kind of one or the other, feast or famine for Nico Collins, especially in the early portion of the year. And I looked at his stats. I think he's been doing a little bit better. But I think Rashee Rice is starting to come on, too, in Kansas City. He's starting to get a lot more targets.
You can go either way there. I mean, but you're right. Collins is going to get a lot of targets with Dell out of there, but also going to get a little bit more coverage, too.
Yeah, that's right. Boy, they're flying in fast and furious. McKinnon or Zay Flowers? I'm going to go Zay Flowers on that
Me
one.
too.
I know McKinnon. I don't think McKinnon's role changes all that much with Isaiah Pacheco out. I think Clyde Edwards-Helaire kind of comes in and fills the role of the first and second down. I mean, I think he might get a little boost in carries, but I think where you're going to see him most of the time is on third down, which is normally his role anyways. And I'm sure they drop a couple plays for him in the red zone, but I think you're sort of touchdown or bust with McKinnon. So give me Zay Flowers, who has a little bit better floor.
Now, McKinnon's back right now. So second game back? Is that what it is, or first game back?
I couldn't tell you.
Might be first game back, so we'll see how he does.
We got Brandon Cooks or Devonta Smith. I'm going to go ahead and say Devonta Smith. That's a pretty easy one.
I'll take that.
Debo Samuel or Nico Collins. Debo just had 3 touchdowns last weekend.
on
How can you be
fire.
thinking of
He's on
benching
fire.
Debo Samuel? This guy, Adam says, DK, Cooks, Rice, or Downs. Pick 2. I'm going to go DK, and then I'm going to go Rice would be the 2 that I would pick there. Chuba Hubbard or Clyde Edwards-Helaire. I'll go with Chuba Hubbard. Chuba, I think, has been doing pretty well in Carolina last couple of weeks. I don't have his stats right up. I think he had like 20-plus fantasy points last week, though. They are playing a Saints defense this weekend. I think they're at home, though, and a Saints team that's looked like complete shit lately.
Looks like we're at the Saints, if that board's correct.
Oh, are we? All right.
Yeah.
Regardless, I think it was a pretty close game the last time those two teams matched up. That was one I was looking at when we were doing the pick'ems to see if I want to take the Panthers as a dog, because they're laying. Well, the Saints are laying about 6 points today. We'll have to do the line check at the time of it, but a sneaky one. I didn't pick it for my underdog, but I kind of like the Panthers in that game.
It's an interesting week for that division, that shit division. I mean, something's got to happen now. I don't think Carr's starting. I think he was questionable or whatever today. So, I mean, but something happens, though. When they get Jameis in there and they get Taysom.
I actually like the team better if Jameis starts.
Jameis and Taysom, right? Because they mix Taysom in some goofy runs and stuff.
Well, and they do that anyways, but, like, Derek Carr, like, I can't watch that fucking offense I quit on them like a month ago.
Yeah. Well,
I can't do it.
I'm telling you.
It's disgusting.
I looked at the schedule. So yesterday I had to make a little hedge wager because of my divisional parlay. I got the big divisional parlay. I mean, I got a divisional parlay.
How's that looking?
Well, it's everybody's still in first place as of this morning.
Okay.
But I'm feeling the pressure, like with Dallas coming on to Philly.
You did Dolphins?
No, stayed off the Dolphins the whole year.
Okay. So your divisional parlay isn't every single division like TJ's.
No, it's about 5 divisions.
Okay, all right.
But the key ones, like Kansas City, they're all locked in. And who else do I have in there? I'm questionable on Philly. I took Dallas as a little hedge yesterday.
Okay.
And Jacksonville's making me sweat, so I threw that one out because of the Trevor Lawrence injury and that kind of stuff, But the solid picks I get in, like Baltimore, they got a 2-game lead. KC's got a 2-game lead, and whoever else. But those 3 are locked. Oh, Frisco. So they're locked in. They're not going anywhere. So I jumped on Dallas just as a just-in-case hedge bet because the other one I bet so little it's going to pay so much.
Right.
So anyway, we're working all of that through, but to sweeten the pot a little more, I said, I'm going to take somebody in that South. And I went ahead and I took the Saints because I analyzed the 3 schedules, and I said they got the weakest opponents throughout. And it's a shit division. Who knows? But today's a big day.
It is a big day because you've got the Saints at 5-7. I think the Falcons are 6-6. Bucks are 5-7. And the Panthers are obviously out of it. So I tell you what though, Big Web, I had the Saints preseason too. That would have been my pick because they clearly had the best quarterback. I felt like they had the best skill position players too, with Alvin Kamara after the 2-3 game suspension, and then Chris Olave. They do the Taysom Hill thing. So I felt like of the teams that would be just the most stable organization. Derek Carr fucking stinks.
Yeah,
he's not a starting QB anymore.
Yeah.
I've been
making
kind
a lot
of
of money for nothing.
I tell you what, man, I've had to sort of be closeted on that take for many years because I felt like I would just get raked over the coals for it. But honestly, since I've started like watching him more like 2018, 2019, like I've always thought that there was something missing. Partially I blamed it on the Raiders organization because of all the dysfunction there. But like now you see him like on a Saints team that while is not overly talented, has a good defense, he's got a good run game, he's got a pretty solid offensive line. I just don't see it, man. I think the team actually is more explosive and has a better chance with Jameis Winston. I know I understand that might be a crazy take, but I like the team better with Winston. I think Dennis agrees with me. He doesn't like Carr either. So
attaboy, Dennis. I think Carr's in the shop.
Lico asks Hubbard or James Cook. And I would take James Cook. I know he's been like up and down. Has had trouble holding on to the football, but I think that Buffalo KC game, if you've got guys in that game, I think you want to start them. It's one of those rivalry games. I think it's going to be sort of back and forth. Wouldn't be surprised to see it end up sort of high scoring, despite KC and Buffalo both having decent defenses. Wouldn't be surprised to see that game sort of end up the way Buffalo-Philly ended up at the end, where once it gets down to crunch time, you see these two teams driving between the 20s fairly easily.
They both, the Bills really need this game. The Chiefs need it, but they got a soft schedule ending the season, so maybe they can still win the division. But it's a big game. They want to. KC's at home. I see KC playing football, but the Bills need it so damn bad. So I think it's going to be a great game.
Somebody asked, is Hardman still with the Chiefs? Yes, he is, as far as I know. And then there was another question. Decor asked, Metcalf or Bryce Hall. And the reason I wanted to read that one off is because I think whether you play Bryce Hall or not is like fully dependent on the settings like of your league. I read that on a ESPN little like blurb this week, and it's so true, because if you play in like a non-PPR or even a half point, his value is so diminished because they can't run the ball. Their offense is so stagnant. He'll get like 20 rushing yards, and odds are he's not falling into the end zone. But he's going to get you like 6 to 8 catches on a given week because they're checking it down. They have no explosive verticality in the passing game. So like if you play PPR, he's actually okay. If you don't play PPR, put his ass firmly on the bench.
They got the Texans today, man. The Jets are just such a sour. I don't even want to say the word Jets. Hate them.
Golden asks another Jets question: CEH or Garrett Wilson? I tell you what, Garrett Wilson's going to be guarded by Derek Stingley Jr., who's now the top cornerback for Houston at LSU. Now the Texans got a lot of heat when they picked him over Sauce Gardner. But you give it some time to develop, and now Derek Stingley looks like a Pro Bowler, and Sauce Gardner. I mean, I like Sauce Gardner too, so I don't want to get in the camp of people thinking I dislike Sauce, but doesn't like the tackle, not that aggressive, or doesn't play that physical for a pretty imposing physical stature, and Stingley looks like a freaking baller, man. So I think he's going to follow around Garrett Wilson today, and I think CEH gets in the end zone, so I'd go CEH.
Yeah, Clyde Eddy's going to have a day. I think he's going to get some attention for sure.
Puka or DK? I think that you would know better than I probably because you followed the injury reports on him. If he's not limited, I think you got to go Puka Nacua over DK Metcalf, even with DK's big game. Obviously, that was fueled off of big plays. And not that I don't think he can replicate a portion of that, but I think Puka is a lot safer.
Both of them going against real tough defenses today in the Ravens and the 49ers,
Yeah.
So, but no, I'd go Puka there.
Ridley or Flowers? I'd go Ridley. He's been on a heater lately, no? I mean, I know that they've got C.J. Beathard in the game. Actually, you know what? Now that I say that, I think I'd go Flowers.
Yeah.
I think I'd go Flowers because I think the Jags are going to lose today. Preview for our picks later. Yeah. But, I with C.J. Beathard, I have a ton of faith.
I would love to see the Jags find a way to win today. Is Lawrence playing?
No.
Okay, good. Rest
as far as I
what
know.
The hell? I don't know.
Okay, pick 2, Adams, Chase, Puka, Rice. My God, your team must be pretty good. Except all those guys have sort of been up and down at different points of the season. I think you got to go Adams and Chase. Aiden O'Connell has actually established like some decent rapport, I think, with Devontae Adams, and you got to play your studs, man. This is like the down the stretch in the fantasy season where if you're maybe your playoffs start today, maybe they start next week, maybe you need this game to get into the playoffs. You got to roll with the studs, I think, at this time of year.
And the Bengals are kind of.
Oh, he said, all right. Chat is saying Lawrence is cleared to play.
Wow.
Which totally changes my answer from the Ridley thing. I would now go Ridley over Flowers. Wow, that's incredible that he's – I mean, it looked like pretty bad. He's actually on a short week, too, because they played on Monday night.
Yeah,
for
after
him
he
to get
walked
cleared in 6 days, man, that's
Walk
holy
200
shit.
feet up the frickin' tunnel for no reason. You know? Idiots. Get him a cart, will you?
He said he wanted to do it. I mean –
Dumbass, he don't make those fucking decisions. It's
I don't like to
painter.
defend. I don't like to defend the Jacksonville Jaguars either. But like, I saw the Colin Cowherd thing where they're like, they don't even have fucking carts in Jacksonville. What a joke of a franchise. And he's like, well,
He turned it down.
He
I know he
literally had to go on the. Now that's sad in and of itself. Like your quarterback has to go to the podium on like the midweek press conference and go, "We have carts, guys. We've got them. I just didn't want to use them." That's sad that he had to say that.
He's funny.
Purdy or Lamar. Now that's a conundrum because you've got Lamar who has underperformed. You've got Purdy who has far less physical ability but a ton of weapons, and they have been rolling. They're also playing a Seahawks team that they destroyed on Thanksgiving night, I believe.
Yeah.
I think I'd go Purdy.
I think I would too. And just because of the role they're on. They just kicked the living shit out of Philly.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, we got to go blue in the chat. Go blue. Free Harbs. Hopefully we're going to win the Natty.
There you go.
Bama's going to be a tough game, though. He said he's in the call thing. All right, let me see. Let me see if C-Fat's in here. Oh, yeah, buddy.
Captain!
We're going to add Captain Fat here.
Can you do it, Zook?
I think
Look
I
at
can
this.
do
Look
it.
at Zook making it happen.
I think I can do it. Captain Fat, can you hear us, brother?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Oh,
I
my
can hear
God.
you. We got Captain Fat on the show.
Right.
How's it going, brother?
Morning.
Amazing. After that last Sunday, I've been thinking about it all week.
Yeah?
But Webb's not here, so I can't put in his face.
No, you can't. But I'm sure he'll watch back the recording. And in fact, at a certain point, he might try to join the show from Chicago. So if he does, I'll relay any shit talking you need.
Yeah. Well, how'd that double up go for you, Big Webb?
Well, it was close. It was
It was close.
We just missed one again, buddy, but we got him today.
You got any picks for us today?
I don't know. I haven't really looked at the lineups that much. It doesn't seem like a very exciting week from what I saw.
I don't know. I think there's some action out there. We kind of like some over-unders today, man. You know, I think that game TJ's at Lions Bears, I think there's a good chance that thing goes over.
Yeah, that could be pretty good. The Bears, I don't know how to feel about them nowadays.
They got a
They're
couple injuries right now at wide receiver, not the two key guys, but a couple backups. So if they have any issues, they're in trouble. But I think Fields is going to do his running thing. They played a great game at Ford Field last time they met, and they both scored a lot of points. So I see it happening again.
I'm waiting for TJ's take on that game. I feel like whenever you're in person at a game, you've got that thing broken down to a T. At least I feel like that's how I feel like I have a much better feel when I'm in person about to go to a game than I do when I'm like sitting on the couch watching it on TV.
Captain, what was for breakfast today, bro?
I didn't have anything.
Oh, my
Not
God, he's
today.
resting up. He's going to have a big
I
lunch.
I got a lot of cookies to eat.
There you go, man. Christmas time, baby.
Yeah. But I'm just, I looked at the thing and I was hoping Webb would be here and.
Well, give us a message for him because I think he's gonna hop on in a little bit and I'll relay it for you, or
Well,
we can
I
clip this
sent-
and show it to him.
I sent him an email that night, like 20 minutes after the game. I recorded a video and sent him a thing. I don't know if he saw that, but that was funny. But I mean, what does he think about the calls? Because at the end of the game, it got a little bit suspicious there. Are you frozen? You're frozen for me.
Am I?
Oh, we're good
Just
here.
the video. I guess I can hear you.
Oh, okay. Well,
But-
I don't know, Big Web. You would know better than I. I'm sure if I know TJ, I'm sure he was not enthused, unless it helped him win a bet.
Exactly.
In which case, he loved the missed calls.
It had me on my toes that night. Oh, that was a wild game.
We'll pass it along, man. You can talk to him about it next week, too, buddy.
Yeah, call in next week and gloat your victory.
I will. Oh, I should have put money on that. He asked me to.
Hey, take that over in Chicago.
Oh, I might.
Big Web says take the over in Chicago. Thanks for calling in, man.
Yep.
See you, Captain.
Later.
That was the captain.
I like that guy.
Yeah, I like Captain Fat also. Good dude. Good dude, C-Fat.
And you did it. You got the technology working here.
Well, so here's the other thing, though. I'm going to actually resend him the link because I wonder if, like, now that I have...
taking a caller, now you're screwed up the remote.
That's what I'm wondering. So I'm going to do that. Big Web, you answer some fantasy questions, will you?
Sure, let's answer some fantasy questions. Goddard or Kincaid? Ooh. Well, Goddard's still out, isn't he?
No, he's coming back today. He's back in today.
I don't think he's going to be ready.
I would still rock Kincaid,
So would
probably.
No, I think Buffalo's going to, like you said, going to have a back and forth day. Go with Kincaid there. Let's see. DK or Amari. So I just think
I go DK.
I don't know, man. Against that Frisco defense, I don't know. I mean,
I think you need to take off your Browns goggles because
Come on,
you
man.
think Joe Flacco is going to propel Amari Cooper to a bigger day than DK Metcalf?
Joe is drinking from the fountain of youth.
I tell you what, man, he looked pretty good, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
still throws a good deep ball.
but here's the thing: he needs to run some sprints because the second half he started filtering off. So hang in there, Joe.
What do you expect, dude? He's probably picking up his kids from school in the pickup line.
in the
Next thing he
couch.
knows, he's reading like a 150-page playbook, getting ready for an NFL game on Sunday.
Yeah, laying on the couch. Hey, honey, the Cleveland called me. I don't know what to do here. Well, go to work. Okay. So, yeah, he needs a few sprints. Maybe he got a few in this week.
Yeah. Somebody asked, what do I think of Derrick Henry and Austin Eckler? I mean, I like them both. I mean, Eckler a
players.
little less than Derrick Henry, who has done really well recent weeks. I forget. Oh, Titans are playing the Dolphins. Well, yeah, I don't know. I would discount them both a little bit this week. They're both going up against pretty solid defenses. Now, I know Denver wasn't solid at the beginning of the year, but they've really turned it around. I think that stats aside,
Different football team right now.
last 6 weeks, I mean, they've played much better than
Ever since that
they're,
Buffalo
They're
game.
not the team that gave up 70 points to the Dolphins
Right,
anymore.
exactly.
So, all right, start two. Kyron, Josh Jacobs, Bijan Robinson, and ETN. I would go ETN, and I think I'd have to go. Shit, that's a wealth of riches. I would try to find a way to
Kyron
put
against the Ravens, not Kyron.
I would try to put three of those guys in. I would try to, go either Josh Jacobs or Bijan in the flex and then rock the other one. I'd go with those three. I would stay away from Kyron, though, today, out of those four. Now, Kyron's still solid. Like, depending on what you have, you're probably playing him. But I think that
Bijan looks good against the Bucs.
I think that the Ravens are going to roll today, too. So, can't imagine them. But Kyron catches the ball, so, whatevs. Pick two, Achane, Bijan, or Devontae Adams. I will go Achane on Monday Night Football, and then I'll go Devontae Adams. What say you guys? I'm seeing nods.
I'm going to go Bijan with
right.
Achane.
Kyron or ETN? Well, we just answered that. ETN is who I'd go with there. Puka, Snee, Jay Reed. Hold on. Puka, Jay Reed. Damn it. Sutton, DeAndre Swift. I'd go Puka, and then I would go DeAndre Swift probably.
Yeah, because
What say you?
Dallas has been shit defense lately.
And DeAndre Swift had his worst fantasy football game of the year last week. But I think that they are going to try to establish the run and be a little bit more balanced than they were a week ago. I feel like that's when the Eagles get into trouble, man. They get a little too pass heavy. Jalen Hurts, for how talented he is, like, straight drop back game is like not his strength. I know he's not totally healthy. He's got something going on with the knees. Had it all year long. But man, I think when they get sort of the short and intermediate passing game going, or get him on the roll, get him on the run,
Give him an option to run himself.
I think that works much better than when they just straight drop him back like he's John Elway. Like, I just don't think that's like his optimal play style. Like, he can still do it because he is, just a heck of a talent, and he's gotten so much better since he came into the league. But man, they gotta get a little bit more balance, I think, if they want to really accomplish what they want to this year.
Look, I'm impressed. Elway reference, great drop back quarterback.
Elway reference.
He's 100 years old, and you're not. That's beautiful.
Elway was mobile though too, so maybe it's not the best one-to-one
No,
comparison.
he was like Here's another one. Jim Hart. You won't even know who the hell that.
I don't
was.
know who that is.
St. Louis Cardinals quarterback back in the 70s.
Back in the 70s.
Now that was only a drop back quarterback. Check in anybody that knows Jim Hart except for me.
Was there anybody in the 70s that wasn't only a drop back quarterback?
There was a few, but it was because they were scramblers, like they had to scramble, like Fran Tarkington or something like that.
Was he 70s?
He was 70s, yeah.
Okay.
He played for Minnesota, and that dude, all he would do is run backwards.
Mm-hmm.
He'd give up 30 yards to throw a ball.
No, I've seen highlights of Tarkington. He seemed like a super fun player to watch. I thought he was a little later though.
He was a scary fucker.
All right. Well, scary.
Ask all the people in Minnesota. Somebody check in from Minnesota and tell me what you think of Fran Tarkington.
Is that right?
Yeah.
There he goes.
James Cook or Keaton Mitchell? I think I'd still go with James Cook. I feel like, has he really had a bad game since they fired the offensive coordinator Ken Dorsey? And even in the game that they fired him, he had like 100 rushing yards.
Yeah.
So I think he got to just kind of live and let live. It's almost like I feel like you watch the game and you see that there's something left to be desired with James Cook, and so you're left disappointed even if he gets you like 15 fantasy points. It's like, well, like, slow your roll. Like he's still doing okay.
Mm-hmm.
It just has hurt the team in certain instances. All right, quarterback, Wilson or Jordan Love? Now that's a tough one. I think I'd go Jordan Love this week over Russell Wilson.
I sure hope so. He doesn't have Christian Watson, but I think he's going to be okay.
Packers are on the road taking on the Giants, and then the Broncos, as we talked about a little bit earlier, are on the road at the Chargers. We'll take a quick break from fantasy questions here to go over the pick'em standings, and then we will get to the picks here in a little bit, and then we will return and do fantasy for the rest of the show. So if we're not answering your questions here for about 10-15 minutes, bear with us. We're going to get to some other parts of the show, and then we'll come back and we'll do some more fantasy questions. What we need you guys to do is to get ready to do the audience portion of the pick'em, which will need you guys shouting out your picks in the chat. We pick ATS on the CBS pick'em. If you haven't joined, do so. You can join from the link on fromthe50.com. Obviously, it's pretty late in the ball game, so you're probably not going to win any prizes this year. But to me, it's like free practice picking against the spread, and then you'll have your account to pick next year because it rolls over year after year. We've been doing this like 5 or 6 years. It's a ton of fun. Beautiful. I think top 3 this year getting NFL jersey. I don't want to misrepresent that, but yeah, win yourself an NFL jersey, get in the top 3. TJ's like in the top 10, so it can't be that hard, right? So we'll go to our pick'em standings.
Hey, just to get the audience ready, the games we're picking, just to get you guys ready, we're picking Detroit, Chicago, Seattle, San Francisco, Buffalo, KC, Philly, Dallas, Carolina, New Orleans, and then we need your dog of the week and your lock of the week. That just gives you guys an idea of what we're looking at.
So marinate on that, audience, while we go through the standings here, and then we want your picks. The audience is actually kind of crushing right now. Those numbers are up to date because I'm in fucking first, which we'll get to here in a second.
Look at that.
For the entire pick'em standings, though, for CBS, we've got I think it's John. Am I right on this? Yeah, I am. John Jameson is in first with 112 games picked right.
That's impressive.
Matt Costa is behind him. We got Kendall Ressler, Amanda Clemens, Kay Roberts, Grant Adelson, Chris Secord, Frank Roberts, Terrence Johnson, Keenan Conklin, and then TJ Weber is first on the show in the CBS picks. He's tied with 101 games picked right so far this year. We got Nick Tolley down there, Tammy Ressler, Andrew Sherpin, Kerry Ponder, and then you and I, Big Web, we're like right together, 98.
98 we're only
games picked
14
right, so.
back, but look at all those double-digit weeks on those top 3 people.
I know.
Great job.
I know. I mean, John went 11. He had a 12, had a 9, another 11, another 10. I mean, he's been on fire this year.
Keep it up, John. Get yourself a jersey.
So yeah, credit to John. And we're now going to go to the picks standings on the panel.
Oh my.
And we've got a new number 1 in the house. Maybe that's why TJ had me host the show this week, because he wanted to give me some time to gloat my maybe temporary but still 1-game lead on the panel for the pick'em. I have a record so far of our picks here of 60, 32, and 3. And
Congratulations, sir.
TJ's been on fire also. He's right behind me, and he's actually led for most of the year. I've been kind of hot recently. I think I had a 6-1 week last week. But TJ's right behind me with a 59, 33, and 3 record, which is just, freaking incredible. The audience is in third place. You guys are crushing also. 56, 34, and 5, the audience is. They're kicking total ass
Keep
this
it up,
year.
baby. Everybody's doing well.
And they actually jumped in front of you, Big Web, so we need you to get your weight up. You're at 52,
Now, wait a
40,
minute.
and 3, and then Nick is rounding out the panel at 49, 43, and 3.
But still 6 games over 500 for Nick. That
That's
just
what I
shows we
mean.
got going on.
That's what I was gonna talk about. I mean, not only is everybody over 500 on the panel standings this year, I mean, we're starting to get over by a decent margin here, which I don't know. I think I was 4th or 3rd in the panel standings last year, and I don't think I was above 500. So we've been crushing this year.
Keep it in mind
Pat
that
ourselves on the back.
we don't pick the easy games. We pick tight, tough contests every week.
We pick try to pick the games of the week.
So last week, Zook, you were 6-1. I was 7-0.
Yes, yeah, I buried the lead on that. Big
right.
Web had the second 7-0 week of the year.
Yeah.
TJ had one earlier in the season, but Big Web became just the second person to go 7-0 on the panel. Congrats,
Nick. Thank you. Nick was 4-3. Audience was 5-2. TJ was 4-3. So Nick and I were in the basement. No, I'm climbing up the steps.
You're climbing up the steps.
I need to bring him a sandwich or something down. But
Well, you know what? You can never be mad at a 6-1 week, but I was a little upset with myself because on the way, while I was in the hotel, we were getting ready to leave Indianapolis when I texted the show my picks, and I had the Packers picked in that Chiefs game. And I flip-flopped at the last second because I was like, well, I'm a Packers fan. I think I got to take my green and gold goggles off and pick this game objectively. Like, it's been a fun couple weeks. But Chiefs, they're a really good team. Mahomes, I think, probably wants to get the Packers back. I felt like the Chiefs were the better team in that matchup. And, boy, the Packers came out and played well. I mean, they were never really in doubt of covering the spread because I think they were getting points in that game. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that kept me from 7-0. My Packers beating the Chiefs on Sunday Night Football.
Got bit by your own team.
Got bit by my own team. Well, we'll be okay with that. So we're gonna get to the picks now. So let's fucking do it. Here, I'm gonna blast the music. It's gonna be bad. Hold on. No, you're good, Big Web. Why are you scared?
No, I'm not scared. Just need to hear it work this week. That's all I'm going to do.
Yeah. Well, so I don't think I had a good week also, too, last time I hosted the show without the picks music. So, Big Web, if you want to get the line checks ready.
Okay.
Where are we going to first?
First, we are going to a contest between two
Detroit.
individual football teams. Detroit's where we're going. Going to Detroit versus Chicago.
We're going Detroit versus Chicago, and what is the spread on that? I have no info. Here, I can actually pull it up though, real fast.
Might be able to get there here.
This is real professional that we've got here on the show right now.
DraftKings is showing Detroit -3 over under 44.5, which went up 1.5 points.
I don't give a shit about the over
Come
under.
on,
I just
man.
want the spread.
You can tell where my head's at.
So it's 4.5.
It's 3.
3. Oh, 44.5. I've got dyslexia. I'm going to go ahead and take the Detroit Lions in this football game. I know that the sharp side and the popular side this week has been the Bears. Running quarterback, Lions defense has looked like shit. Bears have looked a little bit more frisky as of late. I'm here to tell you, I think the Lions get it back on track this week. TJ is going to watch a winner up there at Soldier Field. This Lions team, while I think has proven a little suspect, I think, against the top teams, they're still a damn good football team and the best team in the NFC North by, I think, a decently wide margin. I know they lost to the Packers. They're 1-1 against them this year. But I think that they're significantly better than the Bears, and I think that they're going to prove that today. Their back end has some issues, but but if you can't give Fields time to throw, he's not going to have time to go through his progressions and hit these guys. And I think that their pass rush is good enough to get it done. Now, they are missing Alim McNeil, which, by the way, I think he is an absolute stud out of NC State. I thought it when he was coming out in the draft, and he's just been even better than I thought. I mean, I think
he's a good compliment to Hutch, too.
He might be as good. That was my hot take, is he might be as good as Aiden Hutchinson. He doesn't get the glory or the stats, but he is so big to their run game. I wouldn't be surprised to see the Bears have some success running the football a little, but at the end of the day, I think that the Lions are going to play a pretty good game today.
Yep. No, I agree. That is a tough injury, though, because, like you say, they could focus on Hutchinson more and not have to spread out so much on the offensive line. But, man, Detroit jumping out ahead of the Saints last week, 21-0. It was like, okay, this is going to be a mollywop, and they allowed them to come back. Detroit's last 4 out of 5 games have been extremely tight, and but they seem to find a way to win. So I'm going with the same recipe today. I think as long as Goff can take care of the football, they should be able to win and cover here in Chicago.
TJ is going with the Lions as well. I can't remember, Big Web. You're going to have to do a lot of housekeeping for me here on this segment because I don't got my phone.
Yep.
What is Nick Yale going with?
Let's look.
I didn't put him in the picks. That's my fault.
Nick Yale.
Audience, by the way, put in your picks either Lions or Bears.
Nick is going with Detroit.
Nick is going to go with Detroit, and so I think
TJ's on Detroit as well.
Audience is going to follow TJ, I believe, as they always do. Yeah, the Lions are starting to pour in. So
there you go. Clean sweep.
Audience is going to take the Lions here. Why don't I get my shit together and put in the picks, and we can move on. Big Web, who do we got next?
Next, we have the Seattle Seahawks against the San Francisco 49ers.
And this one is an interesting one because you have the Seahawks who were defeated by a pretty wide margin against the 49ers not that long ago. I don't like when they put these divisional games close together at the end of the season. Like, the NFL season is so long. Why do we have to have these teams play within like 3 weeks?
Yeah.
Like you saw early season even, like, so Packers and Lions have both had their matchups, and I'm just using that as an example because I thought of it first, but like they played early on in September. Lions beat the piss out of the Packers, beat the shit out of them. It wasn't close. You come back, play that game like 6 weeks later, Packers have grown. They're a different team. Lions are a bit of a different team on defense right now also. Packers ended up winning that game on Thanksgiving. Like, I think it's much more interesting to have those games farther apart. But anyways, I digress. I'm going to go ahead and take Seattle in this game. I think it's too many points. I think it opened up like around like 2 touchdowns. What'd you say it is now?
13.5.
13.5. It's still around there. So while I think San Francisco's a good team, it's still a divisional game, still sort of a rivalry game, I think. So I also like teams that have lost heartbreakers. If you're getting a team that's kind of off a loss, I like them to perform a little bit better. I think that the Seahawks acquit themselves pretty well today and at least cover a 2-touchdown divisional game spread.
Still 13.5, Zook. So
we'll lock it in at 13.
That's
13.5.
That's where it lands. So I heard that Geno was a game-time decision. Kenneth Walker is still, if he's not out, he's still nursing bad. So, I mean, it's like you're saying, it's hard to go back-to-back mollywops, but Frisco's got the kind of team that can do that. I kind of look at this schedule for Seattle. They played the Ravens on November the 5th. The Ravens. Then they got a little break with the Commanders, but then they played the Rams, Niners, Cowboys, Niners, Eagles.
Yeah.
Niners, Cowboys, Niners, Eagles. Holy shit. How'd you like to be looking at that schedule?
No kidding.
So, I mean, they are really, for a team that was in the hunt, and they're still in the hunt, but God, they got stung with the schedule. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to take the Niners to cover this spread just because I believe so much in them and that there's injuries going on with Seattle.
Well, the audience is with you. They are going with San Francisco as well. I saw somebody put in the chat Montgomery versus his old team, which I kind of forgot about that. David Montgomery revenge game today. What's Nick going with?
Nick has Frisco.
Nick has San Francisco. So we're kind of split. TJ's got Seattle. I've got Seattle. The rest of the panel, including the audience, has San Francisco. Decor's asking, is Metcalf good with lock-in? I kind of think so. I mean, I think Geno's okay. You're definitely like accounting for that a little bit. I don't think it's like an irrelevant thing going from Geno to lock, but I still think he'll do okay. I don't think it moves the spread all that much. This guy's saying 49ers win, but don't cover the spread. That's kind of where I'm at. But audience is already locked in with San Francisco. When we move to Buffalo and Kansas City, the game at Arrowhead, boy, Bills have really put themselves in a tough position, losing some winnable games, kind of playing shitty football. They put themselves in this position to have to win this game, and boy, do they really need it. They're on the road taking on Kansas City. Last time I checked, I thought the spread was like right around a field goal. What is it, Big Web?
Well, let's check this out. Zook, I'm all over the board here.
That's okay, buddy. I'm asking you to do a lot over there.
No, it's all good.
Well, I can tell you who my pick is regardless of the spread, unless it's changed a lot. I'm going to go
+2.
with
Buffalo's +2.
Buffalo +2. I'm taking KC -2. Anytime the Chiefs are under a field goal, I kind of just blind pick it. Like anytime I get Mahomes under a field goal, that value's too good.
You've
to pass
said that
up.
many times. I've heard you say that many times.
And it's a big reason I'm 60-32 is I get to pick those guys. I really struggle when the Chiefs have been rolling a little bit more than they have been this year. Like in past years, we end up picking their games so often, but they end up being like a touchdown favorite, 10-point favorite. It gets really tough to pick those games. But when I'm got it under a field goal, I feel like I've just got to pick the winner of the football game. And I think the Chiefs off a loss are going to come ready to rock, man. Another primetime game for them. I think that this is developed into a bit of an AFC rivalry, but the Bills just continue to make mistakes that cost them games, and I've given up thinking this is the week that they fix it and play a complete football game. They continue making mistakes. They continue asking Josh Allen to be Superman. There's no like fucking easy yards for him in this offense. It doesn't feel. They fired Ken Dorsey. There's all this negative press about Sean McDermott, which maybe you take all of that and say, hey, the Bills are going to come out pretty motivated, and I think it is going to be a hell of a football game. At the end of the day, I just think the Chiefs have some championship blood. I think Mahomes is a better quarterback right now. I think they've got a better offense, even with Pacheco out, and I'll take the Chiefs -2. What say you?
I'll tell you what, buddy, this is, like you're saying, this is a tough football game to call. Pacheco's out, and Pacheco, with his power and the way he can intensely run, they're going to miss that. But Clyde Eddy, I'm a Clyde Eddy fan. I've always been a Clyde Eddy fan. I think
You're one of the only ones.
There's also 2 injuries in the D backfield, so I think the Bills are going to be able to move the football. The Bills need it more. Man, I'm torn here. I love what you said about the Chiefs under a field goal. It's almost like how can you go against that? And you know what? I'm going to go ahead and take Kansas City because but it's so weird because I'm sitting here like tomorrow. Can I really look at the Buffalo Bills at 6-7?
That's what I thought too, and then they lost to the Broncos.
Yeah.
It was same thing. I was like, they gotta win this game. They were at home. It was like Monday Night Football, and they still lost it.
Yeah, I can't. I think we're conditioned to the Buffalo Bills are a championship caliber team, and they always will be in our minds. And,
I think they are. I don't want to hate on them too much.
But 6-7 right now. Although it doesn't totally take them out, that's scary. 6-7.
Yeah. I think that they're done, dude. I don't think that I think they can make it if they win this game. If they lose this game, I mean, I forget because they had Philly, they had this game. I think they've got the Dolphins again. I want to say, did they play the Cowboys later too? I think
they do. They play them late.
They've got another tough game coming up. I think it's Dallas.
I think it's next week, and then they got Miami again at the end of the season. So no, I tell you. We're only 2 weeks away from the Chiefs not scoring a damn point in the second half 3 games in a row. But I'm still sticking with the Chiefs here. It's crazy.
I think they break that streak today. The audience is going with Kansas City as well. What does Nick Yale say about this game?
Nick Yale likes something here on this game.
Because
I'm gonna tell
TJ
you.
is with the Buffalo Bills in this one, and I'm interested to see if he's going to be on an island or not.
KC. Nick likes KC.
Nick likes KC, so TJ gets the Buffalo Bills on an island. That feels dangerous. I would like that if I was TJ.
Yeah.
You get Josh Allen on an island, you got to feel good about that. We move on to another great football game, man. This time it's a rematch between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Dallas Cowboys. Big Web, what's the spread on this one?
This game right here is, what is it? Philly, Dallas. It is 3, a solid 3 right now.
A solid 3-point. Wait.
Cowboys giving 3.
Cowboys giving 3. Okay, all right. That's what I wanted to make sure. So, Cowboys are +3 at home against the Eagles. Audience, put it in the chat. What do you think? I think I'm going to rock with the Dallas Cowboys in this game. The Eagles, I feel like they're beat up and a little fatigued at this point. Not that I don't think that they're the better football team just 1-1 on a neutral field. I just feel like Dallas is playing a little bit better right now. I feel like they probably got a little bit more mojo and energy. The Eagles have had a really tough schedule. They had the overtime game with the Bills. They had the big matchup with the Chiefs. I mean, they have been in some knockdown dragouts, and they've got another one on their hands here in Dallas against a very physical football team that desperately wants to get them back. I mean, the Eagles have had their number, and if it's not for Dak Prescott kind of stepping out of bounds, maybe that game in Philadelphia earlier this season goes the other way. They've got him at home. I don't think that Philadelphia can cover CeeDee Lamb, Brandon Cooks, Jake Ferguson, fucking any of them. I do think they're going to be able to stop the run. Not many teams run on the Eagles, but the Eagles do have linebacker problems out the ass, despite how good their defensive line is. I'm going to go ahead and take Dallas in a good, entertaining game, but I think Dallas wins outright today.
Yeah, I agree. Philly has been exposed by Frisco on the pass defense. It's always been suspect last few games, the pass defense on Philadelphia. But Frisco exposed them, and look at who's coming right back in. Dallas right behind there with those great receivers. I mean, look at Dallas's points here the last 5-6 games. 43 points, 23 points, 49 points, 33 points, 45 points, and 41 points. Unbelievable. Give me Dallas.
Big Web is going with Dallas. TJ is going with Philadelphia. The audience, I believe, is going with Dallas. And where is Nick landing?
Dallas.
So TJ on another island with the Philadelphia Eagles, really, I think, the better football team overall in this football game. So TJ's got an island this week with the Philadelphia Eagles, who have, 2 losses?
Yes.
And the Buffalo Bills with Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs, and the whole crew.
He's sitting. He's got the suntan lotion out.
This is a big week for TJ at 59-33-3 overall. As we move to our toilet bowl game of the week, it's the Carolina Panthers and the New Orleans Saints in Big Web's favorite division, the NFC South. And what's going to be, I mean, you did hit the nail on the head. As shitty as the division is, somebody's got to win it. And it is so up in the air right now as to who that's going to be.
Big week.
So I tell you what, I think it was around +6 for Carolina last time I looked. Is that still the case?
Carolina +5.5.
Okay, so it's dropped down to 5.5. Bit of a dead number. I'm going to go ahead and take the Carolina Panthers, and I'm going to grit my teeth while I do it.
I would like to say the injury report came out. Taysom
Yes.
Hill out, Derek Carr in. If
All
that
right.
makes your picks any easier.
So we've got our
In-booth assistant,
we've
Christian
got
Phil.
our celeb producer assistant Pilch in the studio with us, and he just relayed. I don't know if his mic was on, but he just relayed the injury report. Taysom Hill out, Derek Carr in. I'm sure everyone on their phone already knows that, but I didn't, so it doesn't change my opinion of the game. I still think Carolina covers. I tell you what, I think Carolina actually might get their second win of the year. I might be insane, but they played them pretty close the first time. I think Carolina's actually established a little something, even throughout the L's. I'm going to take Carolina.
I tell you what, I like what the Saints did last week in coming back against Detroit.
It's disgusting.
You can sit there and be down 21 points and give up as a football team, and they didn't do it. They kept playing football. I hate Carr, but maybe he'll get hurt again. And
We just gave him a
somebody else in.
participation trophy for getting close in the second half.
Well, but that wasn't him. He got injured. So give me the Saints here.
All right, Big Web's taking the Saints. I didn't see anything from the audience. Audience, who do you got, Saints or Carolina in the toilet bowl? TJ is going to go with the Saints as well. Who is Nick picking in this one?
Let me give you a Nick pick here. Nick is taking New Orleans.
The audience is emphatically coming in with New Orleans, so I'm on an island with the Panthers. Not shocking.
Wow.
They've won one football game all year. I'm just telling you guys, divisional game, they're getting 5.5 points. I think the Saints stink. I'm just telling you, watch out for an upset in that one as we move to our underdog game of the week. And Big Web, you're going to, I think, have to tell me who my dog is. I remember my lock, but I remember not loving a lot of the underdogs in this game. In fact, I think it might be a double up for me. It is.
I believe
I'm
you
taking
have
the
Seattle.
Seahawks.
Yeah.
I just think it's too many points, man, in a divisional game late in the season, and a Seattle team that's got a lot of weapons to kind of hang in there. Now seems like they're going to be missing their quarterback. I don't know what the final injury report is on that one, but regardless, I like the Seahawks to hang in there and at least make it like a competitive football game. So I'm taking them as my underdog of the week. Chat, go ahead and put in your underdogs. It just has to be a team that's getting points on the spread total for it to count. Big Web, who's your underdog pick of the week?
You know what, Zach? I'm going to go with those Denver Broncos we were talking about earlier. They're a different football team than they were in the beginning of the year. I think they're going to stay in this one, and they're playing the Chargers. The Chargers have been iffy lately, really all year, and Broncos are getting a solid 3. Now, did we get your points down? What you?
Huh? Oh no, we did.
So Seattle's
It's
13.5. Yeah. And TJ wants Philly, and the Philly spread was.
What do you have? What's Denver again?
Got Denver +3. Wait a minute. Yeah, +3.
Denver +3. TJ has Philadelphia. Philadelphia is. You said Dallas was getting points.
Yeah, let me look here. No, Dallas isn't getting. Let me see. Philly's getting 3.
Philly's getting 3. It's Dallas -3.
Yeah.
So Philadelphia +3. Doesn't change my pick. I think Dallas wins anyways. What's Nick's underdog pick of the week?
Oh my God, he's taking Jacksonville.
He is taking the Jacksonville Jags.
The
Fucking
Jacksonville
course he is.
injured Jaguars.
Now, how many points are they getting?
Probably 100. Let's look here.
They need 100.
Let's see.
That game, by the way, is going to be a pretty funny watch.
Jags are getting 2.5.
Plus
Joe Flacco's
2.5.
giving them 2.5 points.
And then the audience, we've got Raiders for Life. He says he's got either the Chargers or the Eagles. Anybody want to jump in the chat and break that tie? We've also got somebody with the Seahawks. I tell you what, the first one I saw was Chargers, so we'll go Chargers. Although, are they dogs to the Broncos? No, they're not.
No.
Can't pick that one.
No.
We'll go Eagles then. Eagles for the audience +3. They're riding with
Captain Fat says not Chargers.
they're riding with the Eagles. Captain Fat likes Eagles too. So audience is on the Eagles, riding with the host TJ Weber. As we move on to our locks of the week, and I'm interested to see what TJ's is because TJ is 12-1 on locks this year. Yes, you heard that right.
That's right.
12-1 on locks. He's not here to gloat, and I'm hoping he's going to pop in from wherever he's tailgating at in Chicago right now. But yeah, 12-1 on locks. He is going to go with the Detroit Lions, and honestly, are we fucking shocked at all?
Not
He's
a
going
bit.
to the game. It's his squad. He's going with the Lions.
He's riding the vibe, baby.
And I've got a bit of I got a good pick, I think, for my lock this week. I'm going with the Cleveland Browns at home. They're -2.5. It's under a field goal against the Jacksonville Jaguars. It's a battle of the backups. We got old man Joe Flacco in there, but I'm not picking this game because of the Browns offense. I'm picking this game because of the Browns defense. CJ Beathard, as we mentioned earlier in the show, not going to be playing. It's going to be Trevor Lawrence, but he's on that bum ankle, going to be trying to run away from these Browns defenders and pass rushers. Myles Garrett's going to be out there for the Browns. The Browns defense at home is giving up an average of 10 points per game. On the road, they're giving up 30 points per game. They are a different defense at home. They are historically good on their home field. This is a huge game in which I think the Jags, even with Lawrence playing, are going to be a little bit limited offensively because of his injury. It's going to limit his mobility. They're going to have to get the ball out quickly. I do think it makes this game a lot less appealing. When I picked this last night, I thought he was going to be out. Now that he's playing, not great. But I still like the Browns, and I still believe in their defense to get it done today.
I think that's a hell of a pick right there, bro. I like it. I mean, I've been thinking about it all week, but you make some good points. For sure.
I just think the data sets up for them. This is, I feel like, sort of a must-win to sort of keep up with the Joneses in the AFC North. Sort of a must-win. It feels like an important game for the Chargers, too. I mean, that's a big football game.
You know what it feels like? It feels like you're in the woods and you're like a bear and there's an injured fawn coming in and Trevor Lawrence and he's going to have dinner. You know what I mean? It's like it's over with. It's Cleveland's solid here.
Yeah. Well, and also, too, I believe there's supposed to be some inclement weather in that game. It's going to be cold. It's going to be windy. I think it sets up for the dog pound, man.
There you go.
What say you?
All right. So my lock this week, I'm going to go ahead. I mean, Miami is primed. It's my second double up mollywop I'm picking this week. I picked Frisco to mollywop again. I'm picking Miami to mollywop again, and I'm picking them to win and cover this 13.5 against the Titans at home. They've been scoring like crazy at home. Give me Miami.
I saw that you had picked that, and I thought that you were a madman for picking a team as your lock that's going to have to win by 14 points or more. Mm-hmm. But, man, the Miami Dolphins have done it, and they've done it all year against lesser opponents.
Especially
now, when they step up in class, it's a different story. But when they're playing a team that they're better than, they fucking slaughter them. Mm-hmm. So we'll see how that goes today. Who does Nick have?
Nick, on his lock, has Miami.
Nick is taking Miami as well. I mean, I can't remember a time in our show's history doing the picks where we've had two locks of like 2 touchdown spreads. That goes to show how explosive that Miami offense has been. Mm-hmm. I think we've got, this guy says Eagles lose today by 2 touchdowns. I don't know if that means that he's locking the Cowboys. I'd imagine so.
I'll tell you what, that's not so far-fetched, and I would look that up. If he feels that way, and you can get the Cowboys minus 13.5, dude, you're going to get yourself some odds right there. That could happen.
No, he's saying, well, you're talking about for that. I mean, for the pick, obviously, we just have it at the -3. But what Big Web's saying is if you wanted to pick that game minus 2 touchdowns, I'm sure you'd get outrageous odds because it's probably not going to happen.
Yeah, well, but no, but I mean, look what happened to him last week. Frisco beat him by a ton.
Yeah.
You know, so if the same thing happens, if the if word's in there, you know, but
Big if.
You should get paid there.
All right, well, that will do it for the picks as we kind of not close down our show because we've got plenty of good stuff.
So just a little homework.
Yeah.
I got Frisco in that, or I got Detroit in that first game.
Yes, you do. No, yeah, I didn't put it in because I couldn't remember what you said.
Okay, cool.
So thank you.
Cool.
You said you had Detroit?
Yep.
So that is a clean sweep. So congratulations to the Chicago Bears on the win.
And then we need points on Detroit on the it doesn't matter, but on that lock.
Yeah. What are they?
I thought it was 3.
We are like the fucking
producing on the air.
That's right.
It can happen.
I'm pretty sure it was. Fuck, I thought it was more than 3.
Let's see. Detroit minus 3, I believe. Come on, where are you?
We sound like a lot bigger idiots when
-3. Detroit minus 3, of course.
When we don't have the music going, it's amazing how much that adds to the quality of the show. So we'll take some fancy questions. Any you guys need asking for any winners' opinions on games? We'll talk about whatever for the next 15 minutes or so before we sign off. We'll see if we get a TJ appearance. I'd imagine he's headed to the stadium soon, and if I know shitty Soldier Field, he's not going to have much cell reception. So this guy asks, Henry asks, Russ or Stroud? I'm going Stroud all the way, man. Texans are playing against the Jets. Pretty solid Jets defense there, but they've sort of waned as the season's gone on. I think as their morale has gone down, and the Broncos have looked better. Chargers defense is fucking hapless, but I'm still going with Stroud. I think he's just a safer play.
I think what helps there too is the Texans, because the Jets offense is so shit. I think that ends up with a lot of short fields sometimes for the opponent. So it kind of helps them. Give me Stroud.
Somebody asks, yo, who day? Who you think's winning between Bengals and Colts? My guess that's a Bengals fan. I went back and forth on this game for a while, Big Web. This one was a tough one for me because initially I had Bengals. I actually think Jake Brown is a little better than he's been given credit for. It was nice to see him play well in that Monday night game to get the win against the Jags because I sort of felt like he was a little bit better than he showed in relief when he came in for Burrow. But that said, man, I think that the Colts are like one of the more underrated teams this year. We don't ever talk about the Colts, but they're quietly in the playoff picture
like
right now.
7-5 or
they're
something?
7-5. I think the Bengals are right at 6-6, so it's a big game for both teams. I kind of actually lean Colts in this game. Initially, I had Bengals. I think I kind of flip-flopped in my mind last night to the Colts because it's a low spread. And ultimately, the difference that made me buy into the Colts was I feel like their defense is a little bit more consistent, and I really like Shane Steichen. I think he's one of the better coaches in the NFL right now. He's done an incredible job. I mean, he only had Anthony Richardson for, 3 or 4 games? He's been doing this largely with Gardner Minshew. It's been impressive, man. And when you look at that team, it's not as though they've got Stephon. I mean, it's not as though they've got Jamar Chase or Joe Mixon. I mean, they've got JT, but like they're not trotting out the same skill players as a lot of the blue bloods in the AFC are. So I think it's been an impressive job, and I think they win today.
And then guys like Browning. I mean, these second string quarterbacks that come in. I kind of learned this with DTR. When they get thrown into the mix, a main quarterback gets an injury. These guys don't have any prep time.
It's tough.
And you get him a couple weeks or a week prep time, and the guy's a whole different athlete in the second one because he's got all that prep time. Quarterback's got a lot of studying to do, mentally, physically, all the reps and everything. Taking number one reps with the ones all week means a ton for these guys. So, yeah, I can see Brian, and he showed it last week.
Yeah.
So I kind of like Cincy here.
And I think that can kind of work the other way with backup quarterbacks too. Like it's kind of one or the other, right? Sometimes it's tough when you have no reps. Also, I think sometimes you can see a backup come in and look really good, like especially like a season backup. Like I remember Chad Henne did this for the Chiefs a couple years ago. Came in and looked really good, but it's like then once defenses had a full week to prepare for
like
him,
a pitcher looking at a batter,
was a different story.
Hitter looking at a pitcher,
right? Like third time through the order, we're gonna get to this guy. So yeah, I think it can work. It can work both ways.
Yeah.
Is Sutton going off today? Boy, I sure hope so. I have him in my dynasty team, so I hope he beats the Chargers. Jay Reed or Garrett Wilson in PPR? Well, that's an interesting one because you've got Christian Watson out with a hamstring. No, I think it's a hamstring, soft tissue injury for the Green Bay Packers. So Reed, who had done really well, was starting to become sort of a consistent fantasy weapon. Now will have a bigger stage and seemingly more targets. Although I got to tell you, man, the way it's working in Green Bay right now with all those young receivers, there's nobody that really has one focal point that they try to get the ball to any more than the other. Like Dobbs, Watson, and Reed they kind of try to get the ball to them all about the same. It's more about how the plays that they want to run in the offense because I don't think anybody's really separated that much. So I'd go Garrett Wilson. I know it's tough. The Jets have been really bad, but Wilson is such an incredible talent. He's still maintained fantasy relevance even with it. I think you got to rock Garrett Wilson today instead of Jaden Reed. What say you?
Yep. No, I agree. Like you say, it's going to be spread out on Green Bay. One guy says, "Where's Little Webb at?" He's up in Chi-Town, baby. He's attending his favorite Lions game against the Bears today up there at Soldier Field. So we may still hear from him here in the next 15 minutes.
Captain Fat likes Jaden Reed, and again, I don't hate that. I'm just saying I think that Garrett Wilson's a little like they make a concerted effort to get him the ball. Like you wouldn't be shocked if the Packers-Giants game ends and Jaden Reed has 4 catches on 5 targets for 50 yards and no tuds. They do actually make a concerted effort to get him the ball in the run game. He gets a couple carries a game. But I can also see the Packers getting up in front early and just sort of doing enough to manage the game, which I think could actually potentially hurt Jaden Reed's value, whereas you got the Jets playing the Texans, a Texans team that has played some high-scoring games, that puts up points. Jets are going to have to keep up. I stand by my Garrett Wilson pick, but Captain Fat likes Jaden Reed, and I don't hate it.
Amari Cooper or OBJ? I could see OBJ today. Ravens against his old team. Might want to show him up a little bit, do a little something. I don't know. Not that he gets that many reps, but he's a talented kid.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, did he get hurt recently, OBJ? I thought he did.
But he's playing though. I mean,
okay.
He's just not up to 100%.
Gotcha. I couldn't remember if he was out or not. Weather in the New York Jets game. You are asking the wrong guy. Big Web, why don't you get a weather check for us though?
Al Roker. Al Roker. Hey, what's the weather?
Stumpy. We're gonna. That's a name you would appreciate, Big Web. The guy's name is Stumpy Rules. So
Stumpy
we're gonna
Rules.
get a weather check for Stumpy in the New York Jets game.
Here comes Stumpy.
This guy says start to Lockett, Aaron Jones, or CEH. I would go. Oh man, that is tough. I would go CEH and Aaron Jones. Actually, I would take the 2 running backs. Lockett is just he is too up and down for me in that offense, especially if if Drew Lock is in instead of Geno Smith. Sorry, I'm tripping over my words. That's because I'm trying to add our guy, TJ Weber. TJ, what's up, brother?
What's up, boys? How we doing?
Look who it is.
He's live from the streets of Chicago with dogs behind him. Oh, we got you, brother. Can you hear us?
I got you. Yeah,
Okay.
loud and clear. Loud and clear.
Any haters yet with you wearing the gear up there?
Oh, yeah, my party here is hating already. And we're expecting the big Lions win today. It's going to be great. We got about 9 parlays ready to rock, so be blessed.
Uh-oh, live betting, baby. Live betting.
Absolutely.
Hey,
Go ahead.
Captain Fat called in earlier. I actually was able to get him on the show, so big pat on the back for me for doing that and not crashing the whole system. But also, he wanted to talk some shit to you for last week.
Yeah, look, I mean, Packers, a cute little win for them last week. Congratulations. And, they won't be in the playoffs. It's fine. Jordan Love can,
Cute little win.
games here and there. Good for them. We got Train above me. Hold on a second.
He's right under the L, man. Look at him.
He's in Gotham
Can't get any more
City.
Chicago than that, baby.
He can't hear shit.
I got the L Train above me. I can't hear shit. Hold on.
You're looking good, though, man. You're looking good. Ladies and gentlemen, TJ Weber, just for the L of it, up there in Chicago. There he
I
is.
got your voice now. I got your voice.
TJ, what's the parlays looking like today? Give the crowd the inside scoop on this Detroit Lions Chicago Bears game, because I'm guessing at least a couple of the parlays are just props that revolve around that one.
Yeah, the big one we got today is Lions money line. We took the over down to 39.5. St. Brown to get 65 plus receiving, and DJ Moore to get 65 plus receiving. So we like that parlay. I think it's plus 380 something. So
Nice.
I think 40 is like 250. We like that a lot.
All right.
Beautiful.
All right.
Beautiful.
We're gonna have the Big Web's best bet of the week later on. Also, TJ, saw that you had the double up with the lock. Obviously, we're feeling pretty confident about the Honolulu Blue.
Oh, we're feeling great today. It's first NFL game on the road for me, and these Bears fans out here think they got a chance. They're going to fucking annihilate them.
Uh-oh.
It's not even close. So I think score prediction 45-10. 45-10.
Oh, my God.
Are you worried about Jerry Goff in the cold at all? That's the one thing that I've been hearing all week.
We actually have an alternate passing yards bet. Him over 300 today. St. Brown over 92. So we're excited about it.
So we're not worried about Jerry Goff in the cold. That's the conclusion.
We're not worried about Jerry Goff. Big day by the Lions. First tutty, St. Brown today. Let me tell you something, Zook. Chicago, you'd think the Bears fans would come out to play today, but it's Lions fans everywhere. It's probably half and half, I'll be honest with you.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's a fucking poverty organization and a poverty franchise, so I'm not surprised by that at all.
We can agree on that for sure. Absolutely.
Dude, I'm analyzing. I'm looking at the weather. I don't see any trees blowing. You don't have snot coming out of your nose. I think you got a pretty comfortable day up there.
This is a game that Jerry Goff just kind of settles in and just throws dimes. I mean, that's all we do. And a couple Monty Tutties, Gibbs going to get an opportunity. Lions are going to roll. It's just, I hope the Bears can score a few points for the over. But other than that, I mean, I don't see much. We got some insight that Fields might run for 100 plus. I just don't see it. So we'll see what happens. But big win today, I'm expecting. Captain Fat, shout out to you. Congrats on your win last week with the Packers. It's a cute little win. Lions are going for the Super Bowl this year.
Oh fuck! I had something I wanted to mention. Oh yeah, you had TJ. You had a bunch of parlays. I haven't heard Sam Laporta mentioned once. I need him to have a big day today.
Yeah, I almost took him over yardage. I was a little worried. I don't know why. Bears defense has been better. Lions defense has been hot
Fuck the
garbage,
Bears
but today
defense.
turned it around. I think St. Brown's the guy today, and hopefully Gibbs can get in the end zone. That's the plan. But, Laporta should have at least, if you like a bet with Laporta, I take over receptions. Other than that, you never know with yardage with him. So
I kind of hate that. TJ Weber is not instilling confidence in my fantasy squad today. I need Samuel Laporta to have a big day today.
By the way, so I got those bets going, but I also have my fantasy team consists of Jared Goff, St. Brown, Gibbs, DJ Moore, and Cole Kmet. So
Oh my God! So your entire fantasy team you're gonna get to watch them live.
Lions,
so that's
Lions.
nice.
He's playing.
it's gonna be great, man. I'm excited. It's gonna be great. It's a beautiful day for football. We've heard it's bear weather, which is just really funny. But it's gonna be a fun one. I'm excited. I'm glad Fields is playing. I want the Bears full go. I don't want any bullshit. I want the full game, and I still think the Lions will embarrass them. And this is a solidified game here, Zook, where we prove that we're good enough to make the Super Bowl because the defense has been pretty bad last few weeks.
I don't know
today,
if you've caught any of the show, but that's kind of been my take as well. Like, I still think that you guys – I picked the Lions today. I still think that you guys are the class of the NFC North and a really good football team. But you guys got to play better defense if you want to be considered among the elites of the NFC.
Way better. Yeah, it's been bad. I mean, you let certain bad teams hang in the last few weeks, so they got to really get after the quarterback a little bit, and hopefully Fields doesn't run for 100. That's what I'm worried about. I would love to see a shootout for the over, and then I would like to see the Lions pull away. We'll see what happens. We'll know within the first quarter what kind of game it's going to be, and I really hope the Lions come to play today. I got all the confidence in the world, but if they don't, it's going to be chirping all over the place. Look, it's not going to be good.
Okay,
No.
little more.
I'll tell you this. If you do lose, you are never going to hear the end of it till you leave the city limits. So you better hope they win.
A little more geography here.
I got a lot of people around me that are gonna. I'm gonna find a good group of Lions fans and be like, "You guys are my guys here. We win, lose, we're doing it together."
So just a little bit more geography, buddy. So so you showed us a little bit of the L there. So have you been on Upper Wacker or Lower Wacker yet?
I don't know. What does that mean?
No, there's a street that goes right in a loop. It's got two levels to it. Upper Wacker,
We
Lower
were on
Wacker.
Michigan Ave a little bit ago. I don't know streets barely in St. Louis.
I thought I saw he's on like 14th Street.
Yeah, we're by a Buddhist center. We're by Sloop Dental. Free
Sloop
ads.
Dental, that's what
Where
I was
we at?
wondering.
We're at the Coliseum Park. Coliseum Park is where we are.
Nice. No, is there a vibe? Do you feel a vibe?
Feel a vibe. We had some breakfast. There are Lions fans everywhere giving high fives.
That's great to hear.
It is great to hear. I'm excited. I'm fired up, and I'm excited to get to Soldier Field. I'll be honest. I've wanted to go to a road Lions game for a long time, and this is a perfect environment. So I'm fired up.
I bet they got cold beer in there, and I bet they got a good Chicago dog in that stadium for sure.
Oh baby, yeah, we're ready to rock. We're all decked out. I got the cold gear, Lions gloves, Lions gator. It goes over my face if it gets too cold, but this ain't bad. We were expecting hand warmer season today, and honestly, it's just football weather. It's all it is.
Yeah,
Great.
I was gonna say I'll shit on the Bears organization till the cows come home, but as a Packers fan, but also as somebody from Illinois, I will not shit on the city of Chicago. You got to get a Red Hot while you're there, and you got to stop by Al's or Johnny's Italian Beef before you head out of the city limits, because holy shit, you can't do it any better than that.
There you go, man.
We got a nice slice of Gino's East last night. That was
baby.
There you
killer.
go.
Nice deep dish slice. We got Chicago dog at Portillo's, of course.
There.
Had to do that.
Yeah.
Hit some of the local spots. There are a couple rooftop bars looking over the city. It's been a good time. 36-hour trip. It's quick, but we're making the most of it, and we're gonna have a good time. This game's gonna be great. I'm pumped up, and I expect a lot of scoring, Big Web. I got good vibes for you there, man.
We need it, buddy. No, that's perfect. I love it. Give me some good support right there. You look relatively sober too.
Yeah, I had a little Irish coffee this morning. The breakfast place.
It is
didn't include
11:30.
potatoes with the breakfast. That was tough. They ran out and didn't tell us. But other than that, the vibes are good. We got Bears and Lions fans all friendly. We're getting in an Uber right now, and it's good stuff. We're heading to Soldier Field and see Big Dubs. It's gonna be great.
Awesome, buddy. Well, have fun, enjoy it, and get a win.
All right, boys. Have a good rest of your show. Go Lions. Talk to you soon.
All right,
buddy.
brother.
All right.
That was
Right in the car.
TJ
Jumped
Weber.
right in the car. He had the
Jumps
Uber
right
guy.
in the car. The Uber guy was waiting on him to hop in the car to take him to Soldier Field. That's hilarious. Well, I've been inside Soldier. I got invited to Bears-Packers game. It was at that time week 17. It was when they had the 16 game schedule.
After the renovation?
When I was in college.
Oh.
I don't know if this would have been after the renovation or
I think
not.
the renovation was about 5-6 years ago.
It would have
maybe?
been like right around then.
Mm-hmm.
This was the game that Rodgers threw the deep ball to Jordy Nelson. They were winning the game in the first half. Bears started running it down their throat in the second half.
Was that when he said I own
No. This is before that. And then the Packers threw a deep bomb to Jordy Nelson, like a 60, 70-yard pass. Trotted Mason and Crosby out, kicked the field goal, sent them all home crying. But that game, the reason I didn't go is because I had just gotten home from college. I was on break. I didn't feel like going up to Chicago. It was also like 5 degrees that day, and I had multiple buddies at the game talk about how there was a spilled beer at one point in the stands, and it froze. Like, it was knocked over. The beer was frozen, like half in, half out of the cup. It was that cold.
Wow.
So, yeah, it is. When they talk about bear weather up there, I don't think they're even talking about today. It's got to get a hell of a lot colder. Like, that looked pretty mild.
So, I got to, you know how we like to do tight end parlays on
Yeah.
this show.
We love to do tight end parlays.
So just for the L of it, Likely, Laporta, and Ferguson.
I was going to say, where's the fucking...
I'm looking for a third L, and I go, you know what? Ferguson's going to have a day today.
Jake Ferguson,
Dallas.
I'm with you. I'm with you, man. I think Likely potentially has a good day too, because so I had Mark Andrews on my fantasy team, drafted him fairly high.
They say this kid's learning a ton from him. Likely's learning a ton from him.
I really liked Isaiah Likely out of Coastal Carolina. I was almost a little bit bummed that he ended up in Baltimore because I was like, well, he's never really going to get to play or have a chance to be the one there because they've got Mark Andrews. They could do the 2 tight end thing, but it hasn't really totally materialized. But when Mark Andrews has been out, he's been kind of up and down. He had the one big game last year. Had an okay game last week, but yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see him put up some numbers today, but I've got Laporta, who I had picked up off waivers like week 3 or 4, and thank God I've got him after the Mark Andrews injury. But I went ahead and picked up Likely also when he went down. I don't hate that. You must be getting pretty good odds on Isaiah Likely too.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't looked at it, but I heard something on the way over here about Likely, and I said, because if he's learning from the stud who's injured, what the hell? Take advantage of that.
So
He's a good athlete.
Will's got a question for you. He says Likely or Jake Ferguson. If you had to pick between the two, who would you take?
Well,
That's a tough one.
I tell you what, I'd probably take Ferguson because I just shit on the Eagles' pass defense earlier, and I agree with that myself.
Yeah, I think Likely could get you anywhere from 2 to 20 points today. I think Ferguson maybe. I would say higher floor, lower ceiling, maybe. I don't even know if I could say lower ceiling, but I feel like he's the safer play for sure.
Yeah.
Jaden Reed or Metcalf, non-PPR, and then Dak or Tua. Well, I'll go Dak, and then I will go, was it Jaden Reed or DK?
Yeah.
I'll go DK, Metcalf on that one.
I'm going Reed.
You're going Reed.
And it's just because I'm rooting for the 49ers and you're
I think
rooting for the Seahawks.
I think it's just because you're rooting for Captain Fat is what I think.
That's right. I'm a fan of Fat.
Swift or Pollard? Ooh, tough one. I think I'd still go Tony Pollard in that against an Eagles defense that has really struggled at the linebacker position. Even if they're able to stop him through the run, he should be able to get open on some of those option routes and have some success. At least get you 10-ish points, right? At the worst case, I would think. Herbert or Goff? I would go Herbert, despite TJ's confidence in Jared Goff to throw for over 300 yards. If you look at his numbers, outdoors as opposed to indoors, I mean, the difference is stark. So
Yep.
I'd go Justin Herbert today.
Heard that too, yes, sir.
I also seem to I mean, I don't know if there's any. I actually don't know if there's any data to back this up. I like Chargers in SoFi. Just feels like that offense is faster, and it feels like they play better in the dome there at SoFi Stadium.
Mm-hmm. No, they got to put something. They're too good a football team, man. They got to get something going.
All right, we will answer 2 more fantasy questions, then we're going to get to Big Web's Best Bet of the Week, then we're going to get out of here. So this guy asked, Dobbs, Stroud, or Flacco? I think Stroud is the pick there. And then we'll do one more. Pick 2, Devontae Adams, DJ Moore, or Rashee Rice. I am going Devontae Adams and DJ Moore in that one. I gotta go with the Blue Bloods. Again, it's getting to playoff time in fantasy football. Ride your studs. You gotta win or die by your studs. Don't overthink it, because when DJ Moore scores 20 points, if he's on your bench and you lose, you're gonna be super pissed. Why the fuck did I spend a 4th round pick on DJ Moore to bench him in the playoffs or the last week of the regular season? Depending on how your league's set up. So now we're going to get to Big Web's best bet of the week. Big Web, what do you got for the people? I don't have Nick to read mean comments to you today, so we're just going to send positive vibes your way.
I'll tell you what, Zach, this is catch-up week right here, baby. I mean, this is
it's been catch-up week for a while.
That's right. But it's not mustard, so here we go. So medium risk, high reward. You ready for this?
I like medium risk.
We're not looking at one of these 5-team teasers that have failed me the last number of weeks. We only went with 3 teams this time.
Okay.
Regular spreads. Detroit Lions over 43.5. We just talked about that game. TJ likes the over. I like the over. I like the vibe going on up there.
Yeah.
I think the Lions are going to move the football and score. I think the Bears are going to do enough. I think they're going to score. I think the Bears are going to score 17 or 20. That's enough to get everybody over 43. Detroit's going to be mid-20s. Anyway, I like that. Philly Cowboys over 52. I think that's going to be a back and forth football game. I think Dallas has been scoring in the 40s by themselves.
Yeah.
I think we're going to look at over points there, no problem. I think you're going to agree with this. Green Bay minus 6.5 Monday night against the Giants. I think they can still get it done. I know they got the wide receivers out. Christian Watson's out, but I think they can still make it happen. They're minus 6.5. 143 pays $1,003.
Wow.
That's a hell of a catch-up right there. I think it can happen. Back me on this, guys. I'm feeling good about it. Over 43 in the Lions, over 52 in the Eagles. Green Bay minus 6.5, 3-team parlay.
I like that. Is that the play? That's the play?
It's locked in.
All right, man.
Tickets bought. We're there.
Did you do that on Weber Wednesday?
We
I didn't
did.
catch
Same,
the show.
same
Okay,
pick,
so
same
yeah,
pick.
if you watch Weber Wednesday, it's the same pick. And man, I'm thinking it is catch up week, my man. I like that a lot.
Let's do it.
Go ahead and as Big Web says, bet the doghouse, not the house.
Not the house, right.
And tail if you're feeling frisky. I'll answer 1 or 2 more questions here, and then we're gonna get out. Reed or Ridley? I'll go ahead and take Jaden Reed with this one because I've been getting bashed for not picking him in these the whole fucking day. Moore, DK, AJ Brown, or Cooks. Pick 3. I'll go Moore. I'll go DK. I'll pick AJ Brown. See, sometimes when they put these chats in, I've noticed
order.
They put them in the order that they kind of think. Anyways, go with your gut, brother. You've got it already figured out. Jared Goff or Russell Wilson? I will take Russell Wilson in that one.
Don't care.
And then last question, C.H. McKinnon, Keaton Mitchell, or Noah Brown for flex. Pick 2. I will pick C.E.H. and then I will pick Keaton Mitchell. And that's how we're going to end it.
There you go.
So we appreciate you guys for joining us on the show today. You can watch the shows archived on YouTube. Give us a follow at From the 50 everywhere on TikTok, Instagram, YouTube. Follow TJ Weber at Weber Bets. You can follow me at Zach_Zook on the X. You can follow, I think I'm Zach_Zook on TikTok also. Follow Nick Yale also. He was on the show today. It's because he's doing he's going to the Dallas game.
Right.
So we've got a great crew here, and happy to have you with us. But for Big Web, for TJ in Chicago, rooting on the Lions, I'm Zach Zook saying so long. We will see you next